In 1997, Selah was formed. In 1999, the band, comprised of brother and sister Todd and Nicole Smith and their friend Allan Hall, released their debut project, Be Still My Soul. It included 2 classic hymns that were written through unfathomable tragedies. It Is Well With My Soul was penned by Horatio Spafford after all 4 of his daughters were lost in an 1873 disaster at sea. In 1932, Thomas A. Dorsey composed Precious Lord, Take My Hand after his wife and infant son died in childbirth. In 2008, during the recording process of their 10th anniversary album, You Deliver Me, life took a tragic turn for Todd and his wife Angie, who was 18 weeks pregnant with their 4th daughter, Audrey Caroline. During a routine ultrasound, doctors discovered that Audrey had multiple complications. The couple was told she won't live past birth. Well, that story you may have heard here on 100 Huntley Street. You can go back and see that again at 100huntley.com. But I don't need to tell you, this is a band who ministers out of a deep place. And we are very privileged to have them here. You've already heard how much they love the hymns. Let's meet Selah. Todd Smith, welcome back.
Great to be here.
And Amy, you've been here singing as well, but we're going to get to know you, Amy Perry, and Allan Hall. Welcome back too.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's been years since we've really
Long time.
had an opportunity to catch up with you guys. I'm just counting awards here. 5 Dove Awards, 4 for Inspirational Album of the Year. I think I have some of them here before me. This was a God idea from the beginning.
It really was. It really was. We had no intention of being a group. Allan was playing piano at a church and said, hey, I need help leading worship. And so I came and filled in for his music pastor. And then they said, would you guys do a concert? I didn't want to sing by myself, so I asked my sister Nicole, would you join us? And we did that, and then we just get asked to sing at another church or a youth event. And we finally did this one youth event, and my mom came to it and said, you guys really need to make a record. And so my grandfather had just passed away, so she had a little bit of money, and it was about $2,000, which most record budgets, especially back in those days, they can run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it was very minimal.
It's not cheap to make a CD.
It's not, but we had Allan's roommate. He was an engineer, and he had a studio, and so in about 2 weeks we made Be Still My Soul, which a couple years later won Inspirational Album of the Year.
Fabulous, fabulous. Were you in Nashville at the time? That's home now for all of you. Now, Amy, I don't think I'm out of line when I say that in 2005 you rescued Selah. There was some doubt whether, with Nicole leaving, the group would be able to continue, certainly with the kind of sound you'd been known for, renowned for.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know.
I love the story. Who's
I don't
going
think
to
she's
tell
going
it?
to brag
Come on.
about it.
Me,
So.
though.
Come on, because
Go ahead, Allan. Allan, you share.
you'd had women auditioning, and
yes.
it wasn't going too well.
We had about, I would say, probably 15 total. Amy came in almost halfway, either like 7 or 8. And it's a hard slot to fill because whoever it was going to be, she had to be able to sing lead, obviously very well, like solo lead and strong, but also have to have a great ear for harmony. We're known for our harmonies, and we do harmony, and we love that. And so whoever was going to fill the slot would have to be able to do harmony and lead. So we would find some women who were good lead singers, but when they would go, we'd gather around the piano to do harmony, and they would
lost them
completely. It'd be like, okay, that's not their strength. And then some were great with harmony, could pick it up like that. When they would go to sing lead with Todd, just couldn't match. It's just a lot of volume, a lot of power. And he's in our concerts, you can tell, and even he gets a little aggressive when he sings. He's just intense. He's into the feel and the moment. And he never, like our producer always says, he said, I love Todd. And he said, even in the studio when we record, he said he never gives less than 200%. He said even on our tracking days where you may not even keep the vocal, he performs it for the band so the band can really play and go, or the players, or if it's just me,
Sure.
you feel like you're in a performance. So he doesn't know how to hold back, and he shouldn't have to hold back. And
So he was blowing those hopefuls away.
Yes, and so when he would lean in, and all this stuff, you could see they would shrink back, or they'd, ooh, and well, here came Amy, and so no one was fitting the bill. And I remember even going to my pastor and thinking, I would ask him, I'd say, I wonder if God is saying that the Selah chapter of my life, of Todd's life, is closed. It's like, because we haven't found a match yet, and it's been weeks now. And he said, I think you would know. He said, you've ministered and helped a lot of people. He said, I think you would know if God definitively was closing this chapter. So we kept going, and then Amy came in, and I remember the audition. Right away, I mean, I was like, okay, great solo voice. She nailed the harmony stuff. But when they started, you know, Todd, here they came in singing, and, you know, I'm pounding away, and so I was already into it. And so when Todd leaned in on her, she just leaned right in back, like, and just poured out, and she had the volume to match him.
Yeah, they had to turn me up, actually, because she was louder than I was.
So am I guessing that the arrival of Amy is pushing the whole group to your highest and best?
Oh, yeah.
It's a definite new energy. I mean, you know.
Absolute answer to prayer.
Great.
So.
Just great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sense of mutual support and family that's here has a great history. I mentioned, Todd, your deep waters. Your wife, Angie, choosing to carry a baby she knew might die in the womb if that baby was able to be delivered, which Audrey was. She wouldn't live, you were told, more than maybe a minute or so. She lived 2.5 hours, and we've had the wonderful story. The book, I Will Carry You, chronicles this journey. At the funeral, your sister, Nicole, can I show a picture of her?
Absolutely.
Just right here, sang, and she was holding a new baby. How old was that little boy?
She was holding her son, Luke. He was almost 2 months. Almost 2 months.
And tell us what happened.
Well, they went back to Chattanooga, where they lived, and we just lost Audrey. And about 6 weeks later, in the middle of the night, you know, it's just that dreaded phone call that you get from your mother. And my mom called, and she said, I need you guys to be praying. Nicole put Luke down to go to bed, and he's not breathing, and they're trying to resuscitate him right now. And so about an hour and a half later, we got the call that he died, and later found out he died of SIDS. So within 6 weeks, we lost both children. And
sudden infant death syndrome.
Yeah.
Such a tragedy.
Absolutely.
I am sure, as a family, and even as those who love and care for them, you wonder, Lord, why have you permitted such devastating losses for this family that's serving you full time? I'm sure this question and others you've wrestled with.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was even to the point of, I have an older sister, Sean, who has 3 kids, and I have a younger brother, Jack, who is on his 4th child. Right now they're about to deliver any time now.
Oh.
But we were wondering, okay, is one of them next? You know, is this something,
is
this a Job phase of suffering in our lives? You know, you just, and we don't have all the answers. You know, I think that's one of the things we've come away from, is that you don't have all the answers, and you can try and find all the answers or try and spiritualize everything. And there's just some things in this life, while we're here, we are not going to know. You know, you just have to make a decision as you suffer, as you're angry, and it's okay to be angry with God. God can handle it. You know, Job, we kind of think of him as this perfect person. He was angry. He was angry with God. If you look back at what he said, he questioned God. He struggled with it. He basically cursed the day he was born, you know. And
he didn't curse God.
He didn't curse God, but he cursed the day he was born.
And
in the end, he, you know, finally came to see that who was he to question God, and that God was in control. But he certainly didn't understand, and there was no guarantee that God was going to bless him afterwards.
No,
God could have ended it at that point. And so for us even, it is, you know, it's about his glory. It is about choices that he makes, and his ways are not our ways. We also live in a world where we are going to suffer and where things are going to happen. And you just ultimately have to get to a place as you grind through, you know, that you trust him in spite of everything that happens, and believe that he's good.